Welcome to the heartland of America. Knoxville, Iowa is home of one of the oldest race venues in the country. It's known as Knoxville Raceway. And over the years, thousands have graced its hallowed grounds. With 49 years of history in the books, the absolute best of all time, including 6 former champions, have gathered for the biggest sprint car race in the world. Over 100 drivers chasing $1 million and one moment in time to say they're the best. It's the 50th running of the Knoxville Nationals. There's a party atmosphere at the Marion County Fairgrounds. The Nationals have come back to town, and they're held at one of the most famous half-mile dirt tracks in the country. It's Knoxville Raceway. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the sprint car capital of the world. It's also home to the 50th annual Goodyear Knoxville Nationals, presented by Lucas Oil. Hello, everybody. Ken Stout, Brad Doty sitting right alongside, and it's an honor for us to be here and part of motorsports history. 50 years in the making to get to where we're at right now. And we have to go back and talk about that very first event. It happened in 1961, a 2-day event at the time that paid $5,000, a lot of money in 1961, and it was Roy Robbins who brought home all the hardware. An excellent job for him, but since that time, boy, have things changed a lot. Now, the 4-day event has a $1 million purse. And, of course, $150,000 to the winner. Some 22 different drivers have won this huge event, very prestigious event, arguably the largest sprint car race in the world. Brad Doty, you've been a part of this event in the past, 1982, Rookie of the Year. Congratulations, my friend. But, boy, things have changed a lot since then.
Yeah, the facility has really changed. The racetrack itself is the same. It's the black gumbo half mile, but there were no grandstands on the back straightaway, no Hall of Fame out of turn 2. Not these huge grandstands over here and these suites up here. So a lot has changed. You talked about that $5,000 purse back in 1961. When I was rookie in 82, Kinzer won it, paid $10,000 to win. Tonight it's $9,500 just to take the green flag.
Pretty amazing, to say the least. Let's talk about the racers themselves and the depth of talent that we have in this field. How do you think that compared when you were racing?
Well, I hate to admit this. It's probably tougher, and the depth of the field is greater now. We got Sammy Swindell, the veteran, on the front row, though. But the guys today, the equipment is more equal. Everybody's got really good equipment, what we call store-bought frames and engines. Everybody's really equal.
Sammy Swindell, and also you have to mention another veteran inside of this field, Steve Kinzer, who's in the top 3 rows. 2 guys that you were racing with back in the day, still out here getting it done and with a real solid chance of winning this historic event. Well, you talked about the equipment. These cars are amazing, to say the least. And Rob Klepper, I don't know about your vehicle, but my guess is these things make just a little bit more horsepower than mine. Rob Klepper, the first of 3 pit reporters to walk us around one of these awesome machines. Rob?
Well, thanks a lot, Ken Stout. In a sprint car, yeah, a few more ponies than that minivan you have parked out in front of your house, my friend. Folks, the first thing we're going to see on these race cars is the big top wing. It's like an airplane wing turned upside down. Airplane goes up. These cars will get pushed down in the corner. A lot of downforce on these wing sprint cars. Also a lot of downforce right here, the front nose wing. It deflects air to the top wing, but it also provides downforce for the front end. With 900 horsepower underneath the hood, you don't want to be doing wheelies here at the Knoxville Raceway. Methanol fuel injected, 410 cubic inches aluminum block. All you gearheads want to pick one of those up? About $45,000 to $50,000. These cars weigh about 1,250 pounds, so all that horsepower goes right to the rear end, through the drive shaft, and to this big right rear tire. You want to have grip? You want to run the top shelf? You want to run the low line? This is the tire that's going to take you to victory lane. Tony Bachhoven, the Knoxville Raceway, is going to be tamed here tonight, and turn 2 is one of the crucial areas.
Well, thanks, Rob. The Knoxville Raceway is unique for a couple of reasons. First being the width of these corners. It's 60 foot wide from the outside guardrail down to the inside berm. But what's probably most unique about it is the surface of this racetrack. It's made up of black, sticky gumbo that's harvested from the bottom of the Des Moines River, and it's some of the stickiest dirt I've ever seen. If you talk to the drivers, they'll tell you that turn 2 is oftentimes the fastest part of this racetrack, and that's because of how the track is designed. If you were to look from above the racetrack, you'd see that the back straightaway actually widens out as it goes toward turn number 3, which allows them to carry more speed and provide more passing. It's oftentimes the most exciting place on the racetrack. For more about the race, let's go over to Dave Argabright.
Thanks, Tony. Tonight's championship event here at Knoxville is indeed historic. To commemorate the 50th running of this race, race officials lengthened the event to 50 laps. Trouble is, these sprint car fuel tanks and these big engines, they require a lot of fuel. They can't go 50 laps. Therefore, sometime between 25 and 30 laps in, we are going to have a red flag. The crews are going to get 5 minutes to pour in fuel, change tires, do whatever they want to do to these race cars. Brings a compelling angle to this race because in essence, we've created not one race but two. Tonight, Brad Doty and Ken, are the night these crew chiefs are going to earn their stripes here at the Knoxville Nationals.
Thanks a lot, Dave. And, of course, all of our pit reporters will keep us up to date with everything that's happening here this evening. But, Brad, Dave brings up a great point here. Typically, the crew chiefs make their decision, send the cars away, they're done. Not tonight.
No, it's up to the driver usually at that point, but with this stop in 5 minutes, the crew chief can do anything they want to these race cars, including changing tires. So the driver, or the crew chief rather, that makes the right decisions could win this thing at the end. That's when you got to be fast.
We'll find out what the decisions are when we get to that mandatory stop. But before that, we thought you'd like to hear from the drivers and what it would mean to them to win this very prestigious event.
Well, I have to say this probably, this Nationals has probably got, think about this one probably more than I have a lot of others for some reason. That's sort of how bad I'd like to win this. I don't know if we're quite capable, if we're fast enough to do it. I know, I think we are if we get everything right. So there's a lot of cars running awful good here that's been preparing for this race for probably a little harder, been racing here a little more than we have and stuff, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
The first one's always the toughest, so to get the first one and be the 50th, I mean, once you've won it, they can't take it away.
And traveling up down the road as a kid, you always dreamed of winning this race. And when we won it the first time, I have never forgot it, nor will I ever. And every time, it's just that the burn gets hotter and hotter and hotter to win. And to be able to win a 50 and go down in history, words can't describe it.
Well, speaking of winning this thing, as you might imagine, it is very difficult, but two guys have managed to win this thing 4 years running. Imagine one guy winning it 5 in a row. Of course, that is Steve Kinzer through 91 to 95. Donnie Schatz, well, as you can see right there, he has a shot at it. With more on that story, let's go down to Dave Argabright.
Donnie Schatz, you've rolled off 4 in a row here at the Knoxville Nationals. You stand a chance here to tie some history. Steve Kinzer's got 5 in a row. Tell me about your thoughts on maybe doing such a milestone event here tonight.
It'd be pretty neat, but it's all about tonight. I mean, you gotta, when you win a race, you forget about it tomorrow, you forget about it tonight, and go on. Same thing when you lose it. So, we're here. We're just gonna try to win this Nationals, and if we do, it's gonna put us in a great spot. And can't thank everybody from Armor All STP enough, but. We want to win this really bad, but to us, it's just one for the thumb, and hopefully we can do it.
One for the thumb, indeed. That's what Donnie Schatz looks for here tonight.
He's got his work cut out there, Dave, to say the least. He is in tough company. Thousands have shown up to watch these guys go at it. Here's a look at some of the past winners, and, of course, the King with 12 of them.
12 wins. I don't think anybody will ever match that. Look at Sammy Swindell. He has only won one of these races. There's a lot of great drivers that have never won it.
Boy, he has definitely been on a roll here as of late, though. And with more on that, let's go down to Rob.
It's been 27 years since Sammy Swindell has stood on victory lane at the Knoxville Nationals on Saturday night. And tonight, Sammy, we have a very fast race car, and we're starting outside of row number 1. What's it going to take here with 50 laps?
Just the same thing it took to win the other night. The car's got to be good, and I've got to make the right decisions, get in the right place, and just things have to go your way. I mean, we've got the car, I think, as close as we can get it. I mean, it's been good every time we've been here this year. We've been tweaking on little things, all the different races, and I think we put a good package there together the other night. So the car's, I think, definitely just a little bit better than most everybody else. But, I mean, they've got the opportunity to get better, so I don't know what they'll do, but we're doing all we can.
Sammy Swindell, guys, 1 week ago, he finished second at the 360 Nationals. Monday night, won the Front Row Challenge, also picked up his preliminary night win here at Knoxville.
And Brad, if that guy runs tonight like he ran the last 2 Chili Bowls, he will be a handful for everybody here. The C-Main cars are warming up, but the D-Main is up next. Stay with us here at the 50th Knoxville Nationals.